Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for checking out this video real quick. We're going to go over the NFL news in the notes. Today is March 3rd. It's Wednesday evening, a little after 6:30 p.m. So we're just going to cover the main headlines. We got a lot of player cuts. We do have NFL free agency starting on March 17th, and there's already some things that are already starting to kind of just happen here. You're going to see a lot of teams making some cap cuts and just getting things ready for the new season. So we're going to hop right into a screen share here. And there you go. There's the March 17th date for NFL free agency. And we're just on the sports edge here. And we're just going to look at some of the main headlines. You're going to see a lot of teams starting to cut some veteran players and just kind of, again, with the weird salary cap issues this year, and the lack of money for I guess the growth that we usually see with the salary cap. You're going to see a lot of teams make some tough decisions. So the Giants released Golden Tate. Josh Hill got released from the Saints. Jared Cook released from the Saints. That's going to make the second-year tight end Adam Troutman someone to really keep an eye on. We'll see what the Saints do at quarterback, but you got to like the second-year tight end there for the Saints. Tyrell Williams is going to sign a one-year contract with the Lions. That's kind of interesting. We'll see. He's probably going to be one of their top receivers if they move Kenny Golladay away. So Tyrell Williams will file him away here. It looks like Trent Brown might be on the chopping block here for the Vegas Raiders. Gabe Jackson released by the Raiders. Kirk Cousins is our quarterback of the future. We got some more re-signings here. Delaney Walker wants to play in 2021. That's something to kind of keep an eye on here. But I don't know how. Before I get too far ahead of myself here, we'll go to the player news here. But J.J. Watt signed with the Arizona Cardinals. That's probably the biggest news that has happened since last Wednesday. And if you're new to the YouTube channel, I'm just going forward. Wednesday nights are going to be my quick video night where I just do a 10-15 minute video talking about the news and the notes. We'll get into some other things later as the season progresses. But Wednesday nights, that'll be the free, kind of just the free for all here with the NFL news and the notes. But J.J. Watt signed with the Arizona Cardinals. It's kind of a wild out there situation, but it's good to see there that he's paired back up with DeAndre Hopkins. And the Cardinals are going to be kind of a fun team to keep an eye on this year. I think they were really close, and they should turn the corner this year and be really competitive in the NFC landscape as well as the West. So a lot of fun there. I'm just looking at some of the other new headlines here. Dak contract talks more productive on Tuesday. Kyle Rudolph got cut by the Minnesota Vikings. He's interested in the Browns. That would be weird because then the Browns have Hooper. They have David Njoku still. And then, of course, trying to remember who the other tight end is there. They drafted the guy last year. He was a really good young player. The Browns tight end. Why can't I think of his name? Really exciting player. Where's my tight end here? I don't know how I'm blanking here on the name. Harrison Bryant. I like Harrison Bryant. So that's kind of a weird situation for Kyle Rudolph. Just walking into a crowded tight end room when he was kind of mad about being behind Irv Smith. So that's going to make Irv Smith a guy that we're going to like for fantasy football this year. We're going to hit the next page here, just kind of keep moving down the channel here. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, let me know what's going on. Sam Darnold still, getting inquiries from teams. We'll see if they move him before the draft. I think that might take a little bit of time here. Let's see if anybody else sticks out. Again, there's the Kyle Rudolph released by the Vikings. You're going to see a lot of interesting veteran players being moved here. Allen Robinson, GM Ryan Pace admitted impending free agent Allen Robinson could be franchise tagged. There's potential for him to be franchise tagged and then moved. That seems to make sense here. Depends on who the quarterback is. If they can get a new quarterback there to upgrade Trubisky, that might make Allen Robinson a little bit happier, but it's likely he's going to be playing somewhere else. Malcolm Brown, shopping him into his final season of his 3-year deal. Aaron Jones, this one was kind of fun. Brian Gutekunst said the franchise tag is an option for Aaron Jones, which makes a lot of sense. You're going to give Aaron Jones, average top 5 money, which I think at this point he kind of deserves a price tag that high. And if it's just a 1-year deal here, and if both sides are open to it and maybe restructuring things next year when we get a better view of the future salary cap, this might make sense for both sides. So I'm kind of excited here for Aaron Jones. One, not only because I'm a Packer fan, but he's a great fit for that Packers offense, and Matt LaFleur can do some great things. It's going to make A.J. Dillon's numbers and volume potentially just wait maybe one more year. We'll see what they do with Jamal Williams as well. So the Packers running back room, definitely something to keep an eye on here. David Johnson restructured his contract for 2021. They did let Duke Johnson go. I don't know where that report's going to be popping up here, but Duke Johnson was let go. So it's all David Johnson. You got to assume they're going to draft some kind of running back this year with one of their draft picks. I'm kind of interested. Maybe we'll take a look at the NFL draft order. If you're curious about looking up the NFL draft order, my favorite link is going to be with Tankathon. They do a really good job here of just kind of making it appealing to look at. You're going to see, records and strength of schedules and streaks and all that stuff. You'll see who they traded with and things like that. And that's just the first round. If you wanted to look at the full order, you could also hit full order here. You can see every pick, every team. So that's tankathon.com. Really nice NFL draft board here, just if you're looking to see what picks you guys got or, kind of going on that way. But Houston, just speaking of Houston real quick, I don't think they pick for they don't have a second round pick either, do they? The Houston Texans, where I'm blanking. Did the Texans not have a draft pick in the first 3 rounds? That would be insane here. So I'm not seeing Houston. I mean, they got a pick number 100 here. Am I just missing it? Oh, they're up here at 67. So Houston does pick at number 67. No first 2 rounds, though. Interesting. We'll see what the Texans do. Kenny Golladay, would be surprised if impending free agent Kenny Golladay was not franchise tagged. Kind of a similar situation with Allen Robinson. I think the chances of one of these guys sticking with their teams is likely, but it wouldn't surprise me if we see both guys franchise tagged and then moved to somebody that wants to pay them or somewhere that would make them happier. James Conner, unlikely to resign with the Steelers. We kind of saw this writing on the wall. The Steelers don't really pay running backs, don't really pay receivers either. So we'll see about Juju in a little bit here. But James Conner can hit the market. He's still pretty young. I think he's 26 years old. I think that's in May. So we'll see James Conner. He should get some decent money on the free agency market. But I don't know how excited we're going to be about him for fantasy. He's probably going to be a guy that gets platooned with another running back or two. You put him on a team. You don't want to send him. The Jets need a starting running back. The Falcons need a starting running back. I could see him maybe going over to a team like, I'm just off the top of my head, Atlanta. Atlanta really needs a running back, and the Jets as well. Maybe Buffalo. I know Buffalo's got some, they're kind of disappointed in Singletary and Zach Moss, but I still like those 2 young talents. Jadeveon Clowney should be fully recovered from a meniscus surgery by April. That's good to see there. Saints re-signed defensive lineman Noah Spence here. We'll go to the top. Myles Gaskin, Cameron Wolf reports it would be a shock if the Dolphins don't come away with a new feature back this offseason. So maybe this is a team like we just talked about. James Conner is not a really exciting player, and the Dolphins have been linked to Aaron Jones. So they definitely are looking for a running back. I like Myles Gaskin, but I think most people would agree he's more of a complimentary back, not really one you want to feature. He's a really good pass weapon out of the backfield. So I do like Gaskin for third down duties, but I don't know if you want to go into the season as him being your true number 1 back. This article this blurb also lists Leonard Fournette, Le'Veon Bell, who had interest. Le'Veon Bell had interest with Miami before he signed with Kansas City. So that's something interesting there. I guess at the top of the article, they say Najee Harris and Javonte Williams would be a tantalizing option for the Dolphins, who have the number 3 and 18 picks. So that's going to be exciting. We'll see if they take a running back there at 18. Not going to expect them at 3. Maybe Jamar Chase, maybe Devonta Smith, kind of thing. That'd be kind of fun here. The Patriots are aggressively scouting the NFL's top quarterbacks. That's going to be fun to watch here. We'll see if I don't expect them to be aggressive in free agency at that position. So we'll see. I think they're going to have to draft one here. Let's see here. This is weird. Baltimore won't pursue a number 1 wide receiver like Allen Robinson or Kenny Golladay. It's an interesting report here. The Bears are a potential landing spot for Alex Smith. That would be good, I think, for Allen Robinson. Not going to be so much in the deep zone, but Allen Robinson's kind of one of those guys you just pepper, short to mid targets, and I think Alex Smith can work pretty well with a player like A-Rob there. Moving on. Eagles tendered Greg Ward. He was probably their most productive receiver last year, so that's probably a good move here. And then there's the J.J. Watt, 2-year, $31 million. Now, I thought I saw that this wasn't the highest offer he received. I can't remember the 2 teams that came out. Maybe it was the Colts and somebody else. But interesting, he signs with the Arizona Cardinals, who need some pass rush help. Definitely a fun team. I think the NFC West is going to be pretty fun football to watch next year. Boston Scott, the Eagles tendered him, Alex Singleton and Greg Ward. Mahomes is going to be good to go for training camp. That's expected. Teddy Bridgewater. So the 49ers have reached out to the Panthers about a potential trade for Teddy Bridgewater. So I think a lot of people realize that the 49ers don't view Jimmy Garoppolo as the quarterback of their future. He's more of a bridge quarterback, I believe. But Carolina, I mean, they're also, it says here, they're among the leaders in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes, so making Bridgewater extendable. So I don't know if the 49ers will want to send Jimmy G in the trade for Teddy Bridgewater, but interesting. I don't view Teddy Bridgewater as a franchise quarterback either. He's more of a bridge guy that can, kind of hold the fort down for a year or two, don't make a lot of mistakes, just kind of throw the football, do what you got to do, hand the ball off. So he's a good game manager quarterback. He can win some games for you here. Trade Lance, what's this? So Peter King said he wouldn't be surprised if Alabama's Mac Jones was drafted before Trey Lance. I like Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones has a pretty bright future in the NFL. He's not super athletic like some of these guys that we're seeing, but Mac Jones has a good processor. If you watch some of the tape that he put on with Alabama, I know he has some of the sickest, wide receivers that you could have for a college lineup. But he's making a lot of dime throws, man. He is making some good reads, some dime throws. I know they have a good everything in Alabama. So is he a product of the system? Maybe, but if you look at his numbers compared to Tua's numbers, it's close. Mac Jones was a pretty good player for Alabama. So not going to be surprising here. I guess maybe I'm surprised that Mac Jones goes top 10, but there might be a bidding war at that point. So we'll see. But I think most people expect right now, of course, Trevor Lawrence, number one. It sounds like Zach Wilson is kind of the consensus number 2 right now to the Jets. So we'll see if they can move Sam Darnold. But there's a lot of competition for that number 3, number 4 quarterback spot. So something to keep an eye on there. Bill Belichick here has done nothing but rave about Cam Newton this offseason. Interesting. We'll see what they do here. Now this one's an under the radar potential for fantasy news here that you should take note of. There's a good chance Gerald Everett will be viewed as a starter on the opening market. And I've been buying Gerald Everett in dynasty leagues this at the end of last year, just because I knew he's probably leaving LA. He's probably going to get a good contract on the market. He's going to be paid to be a starter. I'm not sure where the best fit would be for him to be a starting fantasy tight end 1, but Everett, he's a great receiving tight end, and he's been covered up by Higbee the last year and a half. But both Higbee and Everett have looked like tight end 1s, at various times throughout their time there on the same team. So I'm super excited about Everett. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, where does he need to land for his value to go through the roof? I'm blanking right now, but he's going to get some good money somewhere, and he's definitely a player. If you're in a dynasty league, whip. It's kind of almost too late now, but maybe whip a offer at someone for Gerald Everett. I think I was able to trade him for like a 3rd round pick in the dynasty draft. So keep an eye on here. Hunter Henry could get $10.5 million a year in free agency. That would probably put Gerald Everett at maybe the $7 to $8 million range. Henry, he's been kind of injury prone throughout his career, but this is a player here who should be the best tight end in the class. I think I saw a link where the Jaguars were interested in him. That'd be also a really good fit for Gerald Everett. Speaking of teams that need tight ends, but definitely keep an eye on Hunter Henry. It'd be nice if he could stick with Justin Herbert, but we'll see what the Chargers do. Maybe the Chargers go and sign Gerald Everett. He just stays in LA. That'd be kind of fun. He's a little bit cheaper. Sean Watson would lose around $20 million if he sits out the 2021 season. I think not enough people are talking about this. A lot of people expect him to get traded, but if Houston has the leverage here, like they don't have to take a low ball offer for Deshaun Watson, which I think a lot of teams are giving them right now. And at that point, if Deshaun Watson wants to sit out a year and he's already gone in his mind, it's up to him to ultimately decide what he wants to do. So they're going to have to get an offer they can't refuse for him to move, but just be open to the possibility that Watson might sit out this year, just a team feud here. A video posted by Drew Brees' trainer showing the quarterback working out has raised questions about Brees' intent to retire. Something to keep an eye on here. He did say that this was my last game or whatever, when they lost in the playoffs, but all of a sudden, it's been almost a full 3 months and we haven't heard squat about Drew Brees' official retirement announcement. So the door's open here. So here's your top 4 quarterbacks here: Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, and then Trey Lance. So I do think these, Lawrence, Wilson, Fields, these guys are probably top 10. I don't know about Trey Lance. I think the Mac Jones hype is kind of real there. So now we're getting back into February 26th, where I think we covered all these notes last week. But if you made it to the end of the show, don't forget to like the video. And then I just want to, I mean, since I got you here, while you're here, real quick, I just want to show you guys. I've been doing some best ball drafts on drafters.com. As cheap as $1.10. And for me, it's not so much about the winnings, it's more about the draft process and seeing, basically I'm paying for good data on, who's going where, and I'm just getting an eye on the market essentially. So this is a fun best ball draft here. I think I had the 4th overall pick. I took Jonathan Taylor over Derrick Henry just to see how it feels. I don't know if that's the right call, but kind of fun. We came back with Justin Jefferson, James Robinson, Chris Godwin, Chase Claypool, Laviska Shenault, Aaron Rodgers, rookie Kenneth Gainwell. Keep an eye on Kenneth Gainwell from Memphis there. He was the running back that kept Antonio Gibson off the field there at running back for Memphis. So fun player, very electric, kind of small, but he can do some waves there. Jarvis Landry, Mike Gesicki, and Naheem Hines. So kind of fun, just getting some of these rookies here. I also have another one here where maybe it's this one where I'm 6 away. I took Mahomes and Josh Allen, but we got Dalvin Cook, J.K. Dobbins, Ronald Jones, Kenneth Gainwell again. He's cheap. He's a potential PPR back at the 9th, 10th round. A.J. Brown, Laviska again, Devonta Smith, Gabriel Davis. I'm going to be pumping up Gabriel Davis probably all spring and summer. Rondell Moore, another rookie receiver. And then I got Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper for tight end so far. So drafters.com, I did put a link in the description below. If you're new, you can sign up with the referral code. You'll get 50% match bonus there. That's going to do it for tonight's video. Again, don't forget to like the video. Leave me a comment. What are you excited about for free agency? Give me some of the landing fits. What's going on with Allen Robinson, Kenny Galladay? Just share some thoughts. I'll respond in the comments below. But thank you guys so much. Have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, whatever you need. Thanks. Peace.